What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. We're in the Laser Blazer today, and I am just about to pull into CSP. I'm actually back here a lot sooner than I thought, and the reason I'm here is because, well, got some finishing parts for the Turbo Freedom Rocket build, and it's gonna be, yeah, it is sweet. They are sweet. Multiple parts, actually. All right, so we're gonna head in here first, and then I'm gonna take some of the parts in. We're doing our part. Non-employees are not allowed entry concurrently. Well, they gave me the okay. Trying to lock me out. What's this? Oh, am I supposed to disinfect my entire body? Here, I'm gonna not even touch anything.
Don't touch anything!
Yo, don't judge me because I have the hood. I got a quarantine haircut. It's pretty bad.
Dude, I'm about to do the same.
Well, she like didn't know how to cut hair.
Mm-hmm.
So we went outside. I didn't have a mirror to see what was happening. Then I came inside and saw the mirror, and I like.
Let's see it. Let's see it.
I made her shave the sides because it was like I looked like a leprechaun or like an Amish person at first, where it's like out on the sides.
Oh yeah.
It was like a really bad bowl cut.
That doesn't look bad. It almost looks like you had a mohawk at one point.
Well, I thought about putting in a mohawk.
Oh, you should.
I was like, that's a good fix.
There you go.
But it's like really long, so it'd be like. I feel tall finally. I'm vertically impaired.
So, how's it going? Is it going?
It's going.
Still going. That's
Still
good.
Going. It's a little weird.
Yeah.
How about you? You're still working, right?
Yeah. Working 6 days, randomly doubles, and you know, so.
6 days a week?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sunday to Friday.
Okay.
Except today, I said I'm not going in, so because they're gonna make us work Easter Sunday and Good Friday. Good Friday is a holiday for us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's that time where it's like you feel bad if you complain if you're going to work. Or,
I know.
I'm going to work and someone else is like, man, I really just want to work.
I know.
I'm happy to have a job.
That's right. And I think of Clorox.
I heard Nick is here.
No, Jesus Christ! Look at this. Dr. Zurich is ready to operate. I'm glad you're wearing that to protect me from your diseases.
Welcome to Complete Street Performance.
How do you drink with that? Let's see how that works there, Andrew. So you're the only one wearing a mask, which probably tells me you have it because you're trying to protect everyone else. All right, so we're going to head around back here and drop off the parts. What? What is it? Oh, it's one of those poopy Corvettes.
Yeah, your poopy car's over there.
Yeah.
In the corner.
It's like a Camaro SUV.
It is.
It's literally ripped out from the Camaro and put in there.
That's pretty cool. What color is that? Black or something else?
It's black. Yep. It's just dirty. Yeah. Check this out. Look at it.
What? Is that factory or no? Does it have the kick? Yeah. Is that factory?
Yeah. If you get the package, yeah.
What are these junky parts?
Junk.
Man, instead of a C8, I should have got one of these junky.
You should have. You could fit big turbo and parts and a converter.
Complete Street SUVs.
And still room for groceries in the back.
One of these boxes?
It's in both of them.
The exhaust housing in one?
Yes. Turbo housing, some more Holly parts, so no one has seen this yet. This is a reveal. We're going to reveal in the back of the Blazer trunk. Yeah, this is a reveal.
I don't know how many things to set it on right now.
I had to take it apart when I painted it.
Oh my God, it weighs so much.
It's not light.
Oh my goodness. T6 out in the end.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh my God. Look at the curve. Just look at it. Get my T3s. You gotta get one of them. Hang on. Jeez.
Where's that going on the C8?
We'll make it fit.
I've waited 3 months for this turbo, and it's not going to go on some C8 Corvette.
Yeah,
so
the
this
T6000
is
pretty
a 102 millimeter turbo, Garrett GTR 102, with a 140 AR housing.
That's so much inertia.
What do you think of the paint job? Obviously, they come silver, and I painted it black.
You did a good job. I like it.
So I used 1,000-degree grill paint.
I'm surprised it looks satin like that. Normally they're either gloss or flat.
Yeah, it was a satin. I don't know, I found it randomly in my basement. I was like, oh, we'll use this.
What is this, a 66, 67s?
Yeah.
Oh my. Yeah. You could fit this in here, almost.
Yeah, watch out. This turbo made 1,200 on my car.
So here's the 85?
It's an 85. That made 1,200, and now look at that.
Oh, that's a
so
better
it's probably
angle
going to
there.
brace
Look
this
at that.
manifold, because that thing weighs a lot.
I was going to say, you're going to have to brace that.
Like that, I'm not so worried about. Like, if you pick this up, it's heavy, but it's not this. I don't think this is ridiculous. Nick's face right now is just like,
What?
I don't know.
Out of 10?
What do you think?
I think it's large.
Large and in charge.
You're never going to utilize all of it.
No, I know. It will blow the engine before I utilize all of it.
The whole car will explode. Like on 10 pounds, this thing's probably going to make over 1,000.
It's interesting to see the different inlet. Like you have like almost a little velocity stack on here, but that's like,
See this lip down here?
yeah.
That feeds into this base so it doesn't surge. It's just different design. This is probably going to make this turbo louder. It's kind of like a bell mouth.
Yeah.
This is almost like the T51R mod. This is a lot like the Borg Warner turbos. When you take out the noise attenuator. Because you're never going to utilize what this housing flows.
Right.
So if you put a tighter housing on it, it will spool a little faster.
Yeah.
But it's not, we can change that. That's easy.
All that. Yeah, that's true.
That car's never going to utilize what this turbo can do.
That's a dare for Nick.
I mean, I'll turn up to 30 pounds, we'll see what it makes, but piston's going to be in the roof.
So what do we got here now?
FSP.
More stuff. Oh yeah, the Fowler. Is it Fowler or Fowler? Fowler. Fahler. This is the new manifold that he custom welded and everything.
So these are the crossover tubes. Yep. That's one of them.
Okay, that's a crossover. Yep.
Yeah, that's your manifold.
Oh, there we go.
One-cylinder,
Cool.
right?
That's right.
Two-cylinder.
It's a 2-cylinder.
And here is Mac Daddy.
The manifold. Look at that thing. Oh yeah. Sweet.
We'll get it coated black.
Oh, you're gonna coat it black too? Okay, because it looks like he's got some sort of a coating on it already. So we're gonna coat this black to match the turbo. And
Made a CSP logo on it.
oh my god. Now this is the other side manifold from Holley. It's a hooker manifold.
Hookers.
Hookers. Everyone
All
likes
hookers.
them. Are you guys gonna paint that black too, or what?
Might as well get it coated. Yeah.
Okay.
Get everything coated,
yeah.
Yeah. What do you do? A ceramic coating or?
It's Cerakote.
Oh, Cerakote, okay. Oh yeah, we got some new MSD wires, black ones. There's the trans brake module for the bump box that we're gonna have to have on the car. So here's the new converter from Neil Chance. Another medium shirt.
Medium.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not a medium anymore.
What are you at? What am I?
Schmarge.
Okay.
It's still a small car.
That's a medium. Small and large is a medium.
Is it bolt together?
It is bolt together.
Yep.
Nice.
Bolt together. Oh yeah, so the big turbo is finally here and it's, well, big. Let me know what you guys think of that in the comments below. On a totally different subject though, I ended up refurbishing the steering column on my 69 Camaro. And I didn't really put too much thought into it, but I ended up doing it like on Instagram stories. So I took it from my phone and loaded it on my computer so I could put it in the video for you guys. So bear with me because it's all going to be like vertical, like an iPhone. So it's not going to be horizontal and fill the screen. But here's that footage. All right, so I'm in the garage. We're with the 69 Camaro today. And I decided to go ahead and replace the turn signal mechanism and some stuff in the steering wheel column that just needs refreshed. I think I'm just going to pull the whole thing out. So got some bolts out that need to come out. 2 other bolts up here that need to come out. And then there's 2 other bolts down by the steering box that also need to come out. And then this thing should pull out. And I'm basically going to, while I have it out, I'm just going to repaint it. As you can see, it's kind of scuffed up from, you know, keychains and keys hitting it on the side there. And down here, it's just old. I think it's the original steering column. So I'm going to refresh that, put it back in. And I'm still waiting on some parts that I ordered yesterday to come in for it. Obviously had to take the wiring harness off of the turn signal switch assembly. And look, those are definitely original. I might be replacing a little more than I thought, but you know, oh well. Figured I'd do it. It's not really a nice day out. It was like raining earlier, so we can't really take the car out for a drive. All right, so now that we have the 2 bolts out of the steering column there to connect to the steering box, we're going to go inside the car and finish it off with the other 2 bolts that hold the steering column in place. There's like a bracket here, see it? And take this one off right here. And this will drop the whole column and I should be able to take it out. And there we have it. There it is. Now I just got to unhook these 2 wiring harnesses here, take a little video of that. So I remember it, I'll save it. All right, got the wiring harnesses off. Pull this out. Here it comes. boy. Oh, we're stuck on something here. What are we stuck on? A little wire. Oh yeah. Success. Look at that baby. She's definitely original. I can buy a whole steering shaft if I want to, but if I can save money, I'll do it, get it to work. I don't mind having original stuff in this car for a little while. If I can just clean it up and, you know, maybe paint some of it. I mean, a lot of that stuff is pretty rusty, especially this cover piece here. This is like I don't even know what that is. Almost like rubber, but it's not. Yeah, you can see there's like a bunch of rust built up on that. And yeah, this is a plate here. This is all rusty. We'll see here. Take it apart and clean her up. Well, working on the steering column today with Dad in the shop. Look at all that stuff that came out of the steering column. The bottom here. Look at all that. That's just moving it and shaking it around. I'm gonna get all the rust off of these plates. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this piece. Maybe try to clean it as best as possible. This piece is kind of busted, but I might just take that off and not even use it. We'll see. I'm gonna paint these pieces, this as well, and maybe even sand this down and kind of give it a coat or something. Obviously block off parts that I don't want to paint. Well, got the first coat of paint on everything. Wait for that to dry. Come back tomorrow and do a second coat. All right, so doing another coat of paint the second day on the column, as you can see there. It's looking good. Finished this. This is the last coat for the piece where the tumbler goes for the key and everything. I chose to do a semi-gloss on the parts you're gonna see. And then this is just a flat black the rest of the way down. Then these pieces here are also flat black. This is the bracket that goes under the dash. These are the plates that go out from the firewall. And then here's one of the switches. This is your ignition switch. There was a bunch of just dust and dirt in there. Clean the contacts. There's no problem with this. This works great. But it was just dirty and old, so I figured I'd clean it up. Then we have the lock pin for the steering wheel. This is your ignition rod that goes through here and trips your ignition when you turn the key. Putting the column back together. Have all this done, the ignition switch with the ignition and a lock pin for the steering wheel lock, and then the ignition, the tumbler here. So next is the new turn signal mechanism. All right, so got the new turn signal mechanism in, as you can see, brand new. And then got these little billet knobs. Here's the turn signal knob, and here's the four-way knob. I got these in order to replace the old ones. I think that's gonna look a lot better, especially with the new steering wheel that I'll put on here. Alrighty, so we are back in the car now with the new, and well, I shouldn't say new, but refurbished steering column. And getting ready to put it in now. So I'm gonna slide it through the hole here. Let me zoom in so you guys can kind of see what's going on here. But that's where the steering column goes through right here. I'm gonna bolt it up here. There's two bolts that this bracket goes to. Here's one of the holes for the bracket. So I'm gonna bolt it in loosely and make sure everything's good. And then I'm gonna go up to the front of the car in the engine bay and then bolt that in to the steering box and everything. So that's tight. Then I'll lag these in tight. And then I'll put my finishing plate on the firewall. And after that, hook in my harnesses and everything, and put my steering wheel on, do the finishing touches, and we should be good to go.
Okay, you're lined up with it now, but okay, it's on.
It's on?
Yep.
I just need you to hold this up like that. I'm just gonna leave this loose for now and then tighten it up front there. But yeah, that's how it's gonna go. That looks, what do you think? Looks a lot better, huh? So that's it right there. Looks better. I'll paint it up. Got the wiring harness wrapped around the column right there. And there's a bracket on the column that the wiring harness sits on. I didn't know that, I just figured it out. It wasn't like that when I pulled it off, so you can see it right there. That black harness sits on the column. It's got a little bracket there. Now that this is in, time to go to the front. All right, so got the bolts in there, all tightened down, so that's tight. Then we can go in here, back in here, tighten down the bracket underneath there, and after that, the steering wheel column will be in, and then I can put the steering wheel on. Got some new tools today. Set of ratcheting SAEs with regular heads and swivel heads. And then I got a set of swivel head ratcheting metric from 8 to 19 millimeter. From ProStormer, both of them are the same brand. That one just rolls up. And I literally ordered these on Amazon yesterday. They got here today at like 1 o'clock, just in time for me to put that on. Made it a whole hell of a lot easier instead of using standard wrenches or a socket wrench. So I'll put the link in the description for those below. I didn't pay very much. I paid literally like $110 for both of these. So I thought it was a great deal. I was looking at gear wrench, but you know, if these last and they work well, then that's a good deal to me. All right, so got the column and all the wiring harnesses tucked up under there and zip tied, so it's nice and clean. Tightened in the bracket here for the steering column, so that's all set. I checked all the key settings for the ignition switch here, make sure that's working. So we push in and pull back, get a little GEN sign right there. That means generator, so that's accessory mode, so like your radio is on. And then obviously this is lock, which is everything's off. And then click, key on is radio and lights. All the lights work and everything, so everything seems to work good. So I actually didn't have an accessory mode when I first got this car because the ignition switch wasn't set up right, and it had like, you couldn't put it back in its position, so I never even had that setting. So I readjusted it and make sure I had it. So the last step is to do the steering wheel. So I already have the hub sort of seated on here. We're gonna put that on and we should be good to go. Alrighty, so got the steering wheel back on. I'm gonna pull it out of the driveway here and just to see if the steering wheel is straight or not. I forgot to make a mark to let me know what straight was. But we're gonna see. Might even just drive around the block just to see how it is. Oh yeah. Alright, so I'm gonna go for a drive here just to test everything out. I think I've got the wheels straight now, but everything's done. Yeah, I think the wheel's straight. Yeah, that's pretty straight. I think we nailed it. I think we got it right on the money. So that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about the turbo and the steering column that I refurbished on the 69 Camaro. Stay tuned for the next video, and if you're coming here for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button. And as always, have a great day.